So I've realised a pretty big mistake. Let's just show you real quick. It's on my Up by app, as you can see here, and it's something that I still want to continue this, and I should thank Hooded as well. Basically, in episode 14, he's standing up about like here, right? And I knew that the snow was gone. If you remember in the tour I did, I showed that the snow was still here. I don't remember exactly what I said for that reason, but I do know now. I looked at this, saw it was different. I didn't really get much like down there, so I kind of just in my drowsy set. You gotta remember this mob trap. This episode has a lot of stuff in it. You got like the mob trap, the updates to the house, the whole underground cave system, and then the first house, which you can just about see from there as it is. And I just thought about that, and I was like, you know what? I'll come back to that later. Well, later turned out to be episode 30. And I decided, you know, what better way of just kind of going through, like, every 10 episodes or so, I just go through all the copies, all the episodes again, make sure that there's no misconceptions or things that I need to fix. And there was a few, which I have gone back through since, like, even 12. I fixed a couple things, like, through here, just because I want to make sure that when I do release this world, it's accurate. Now then, to my point, when I was fixing 14, obviously this is when I came back to visit this, because I realised, yeah, shit, I forgot completely about this. So, what happens is, I'm with Hooded, and I say to him, in the call, I say, I forgot to do this area. Can you, there's a couple of trees I've seen. Can you have the file and kind of help if you can, please? So, he takes the file, off of me. Well, I said that really bad. He takes the file because he has to, because of the emulator that we're using. This is literally an Xbox 360 edition emulator. And essentially, he kind of works on this entire area. There's, like, trees missing, like, you know, in a lot of these areas. Like, I think a lot of this area, even, like, something over, like, back to this lake, because I remember him screenshotting me this lake. There's a lot of trees here. Now, there's two things, based on how many episodes that I've done since then. Since 14, there's 16, 17, 18, 19, 22, 23, 27, the phase area episode, and 30. That's 9 episodes I have to fix this for. And I'm willing to do it, like, genuinely. If there's no other options here from what I'm going to get at this video, like, I will do it. I will cry miserably about it, but I can do it. It's not... It is hard, but it's not that difficult if I just sit and listen to music and absolutely grind for a day. I think it could be done. But the thing that I'm trying to get at more is, if these trees are wrong, what's to say that things around the world are also not right, in terms of generation? And I've gotten up to episode 30 in the main copy. I am just saying now, like, if that is the case, that's going to suck. Because that will mean that, of course, basically most of the world, like, everything that I've done is okay, but it's not just as simple as, you know, structure tooling everything on this version. If we found an accurate seed, and I just did that for, like, every episode, that would be the best. Like, you know, I could literally just do that. But it doesn't work like that, necessarily. Which, it sucks, to be honest. So my two dilemmas are, I want to ask if it's worth restarting. First of all, I don't think it is. But second of all, if I am going to restart, there's no multiplayer on this thing. You know, like, this is literally just, like, I can't really show you without exiting the world, which I cannot be bothered to do right now. But there's no multiplayer so far, apart from if you use NetPlay, and they're still working on that, and it's going to be buggy. Not many people have access to, of course, getting that set up. And the people that do, of course, you know, that there can be things arranged and worked out with, of course. I know a few people that would probably help, like Owen and Sal. The second option I have is to keep on going, fix those areas, and just keep on tackling whatever kind of happens. Which, to be fair, that's the option I'm most likely wanting to go with. But I want to have help with this project, simply because, you know, I'm not on a lot as much as I used to be now. Like, I do a lot more things outside of home now. And simply put, I know Hooded's busy as well. And, you know, we're working on this less and less as a passion, and more as a task. Like, we did try and ask for help on the project that Hooded did, but, like, that kind of phased out, and we kind of realised over time that there were things that we could have done better. So I was like, well, why don't we just copy every single episode? Because that's something that me and, I'll just call him by M. That's what we did, initially, on the Xbox One edition. And I was like, well, we should just come back and do it on 360 at this point, because you know, at least I could download the copies. There's pros and cons, you know. I can of course download the copies, but I can't like, well, I can upload the copies, but on Xbox One Edition I'd have to do it through Bedrock, convert it all over, and it's just not amicable. I've tried it, and plus the conversion sometimes crashes, so you have to fly around the world and find the entire map just to get rid of the crash chunks. And you gotta remember, I would have to do that for like 658 episodes before he even gets onto Bedrock, which is just insane. Like, I realize it's so much better, like in hindsight, at least for people that want it, to go back to the 360. And I'm not really going to ask, is anyone still wanting this project? Because there's a lot of views on the last videos. Like, the 2 videos I've done, like, it's got like 500. That series is like flat out beating Lost Legacy in terms of views. So I know I'm going to do that into the distant future. But, like, I'm just going to say now, like, if anyone does want to help with this project, like, in all the videos that I do, where, of course, I'm, like, showing this off, like, every 10 episodes, I'm going to credit you, like, if, whatever you do. As long as, like, you know, you do everything right, and you're not going to be, like, a jerk about it, and make sure that, like, you know, we work as a unit and not just, like, separately, because of course we only have the exact same like file which somebody else is going to build on, then that file is going to get passed around. So we need a structure and we need a routine. And I'm just asking now, because if you are like under the age of, like, I don't know, I don't want to say an age because I know some people are genuinely quite accurate in this community that aren't that age, but like if you're under the age of, like, you know, 11, 10, like, probably not. Just because, yes, there are some diamonds in the rough out there. I'm not going to say there isn't. You know, there are some people that are genuinely good for that age. But in most cases, you find that a lot of people need that experience with accuracy. And either way, I'm probably going to go back through and check things anyway, because I like to just make sure that everything's good. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you'd be interested in helping. And if you are, make sure in the comment you also put like your Discord name. If I already know you, then of course that's no need. But like if I genuinely know that you want to help, because it's not a question of if this project's worthwhile. It's a question of when this project's going to be worthwhile enough for it to be like a kind of, we build momentum, we get to the good bits like the town, you know, start the fun land and all that, for it to be like, yes, we're getting somewhere kind of thing. That's what I really want. That's like the major thing that I care enough about with this project. So I'm going to stop yapping now, and I would like to see what you guys think, and if it's something you guys would want to do, and if not, then, you know, I respect that. Just please do. Yeah, I guess please do throw me a lifeline here and just see what you guys can do. I can fix all this issue over here. You guys just, you know, help with the episodes or whatever. And I've always wanted to be this community thing, and I'm gonna slate somebody here, and it's gonna be mainly Ben. So Ben, if you're here, and just like, you know, take this in one ear and out the other, because I'm not exactly slating you, but I'm just saying why, like, you know. Okay, so basically this whole project was gonna be like ep by ep united, right? Like this project had a lot more people. I said I was gonna stop yapping, but here I am. This project was gonna have a lot more people like behind it initially. And I sent Ben a file, and I was like, do you want to help with this initially? He's like, yes. And then I leave that file with him for like a week, and I wanted to make progress so bad. I'm like, okay, do you actually even want to make progress on this anymore? He's like, no, I don't think so. So I'm like, well, so much for that. So this project's already crumbling. I don't want that to happen. I just want to have people that care enough to do it. And I know it's not exactly, I know Stempy's not a niche that's big enough now to have like hundreds of people with it, and I'm never expecting that to happen anyway. But just enough people for it to be sustainable, and for people to, for me to not have to wait 6 months for a video. I could do the episode 30 tour, but I'm going to do that way before I fix everything though, because sadly that's just how it's going to be. So that's going to be the end of my constantly yapping. Please let me know what you want to do, and if you are wanting to help, then I guess I'll see you as a part of the project. But if not, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you can respect me for being a bit more open about the workings of this, because nothing's going to be 100% accurate, of course. Things are going to have differences, but unlike other copies, you know, every copy is getting changed. So it's not like I'm going to release one download and then that download's going to get, like, you know, replaced with another one that's like, I don't know how to explain. I mean, I guess it is anyway, but like, you know what I'm saying. Each individual copy is going to have fixes to it. So that's the best part, I think. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all, yes, in the next one. Bye-bye.